Hey there, everybody. Today I would like to talk about Marvel, specifically Marvel's latest outing, which is, of course, Antman and the Wasp. Here on Rotten Tomatoes, you can see that the critic score has actually dropped down to a 48. This makes it nearly the worst rated Marvel movie as far as critics go. Just 1% above the Eternals, which is at a 47. Now, something odd about this, the Eternals lost money. They didn't make back the amount of money that they needed in order to break even. However, somehow it has a 77% audience score. Now, like I said, I usually put more weight into what the audience says about a movie than the critics do. So this is a bit odd here. Now, I've heard from people that have watched this movie, and in a minute we're going to take a look at an official review of this movie, but this 84% audience score, it really doesn't make sense to me. A lot of the 5 stars look like bots. There's probably some bot farm out there doing these. Movie was great, love the different characters, very colorful, you know, it's just... These 5 stars are such basic, like 1 sentence, almost 2 sentence reviews. It was definitely not better than the first 2 movies. So this guy's Andre, he's full of crap. You know, another 5. It's really weird. These audience scores. So I would really want to put this down to bots. It's a fun Marvel movie that sets up the next phase nicely. Well, this is the first movie in that phase. If the phase is anything like this movie, then it's going to be a terrible phase. So let's take a look here on IMDb. It's at a 6.6 out of 10, 26,000 ratings, which is not good for a Marvel movie. I mean, it's not a horrible rating on IMDb, but definitely not good for a Marvel movie. A lot of people are finding it mediocre, so giving it a 7 or 6. There's quite a few 1 votes. And then on Metacritic, we see it's at a 48 based on 59 critic reviews and a 5.8 on the user score based on 178 ratings. So anyway, let's talk about the movie. It's an Ant-Man movie that puts Ant-Man in the background. The rumors that we heard were true. Janet Van Dyne and Kang are basically the focus of this movie. At least the first 2/3 of the movie is about Janet and her trying to hide her experiences from the quantum realm, from when she was trapped in the quantum realm. So it's mostly about Janet. The movie has a lot of exposition. It's a lot of explaining, not very much action. The trailers are full of action, but don't be fooled by the trailer. It's mostly them just explaining what's going on, trying to set up and explain why Kang is there and what Janet's role is, or what Janet's relationship to Kang was when she was trapped in the quantum realm. Jonathan Majors does good as Kang, just being a menacing, talking to people Kang. But when it comes to action, when he really has to ramp up the action, he comes off cartoonish and silly. And it's hilarious to watch. Let's take a look at here, Bounding in the Comics. They did a review on it, and they pretty much say the same thing that I've said here. The state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in shambles when you place all of your eggs of future success on the character of Ant-Man, but that's where we are. Marvel hasn't passed $1 billion since the 2019 Avengers Endgame, albeit Spider-Man No Way Home grossed almost $2 billion globally, but that was a Sony Pictures production, so they made most of the money on it. So what Ant-Man and the Wasp seeks to do is to create hype for the latest Avengers villain, Kang the Conqueror. Needless to say, this film needs to be a success in order to have any hope for the future. He's cutting back on Disney Plus shows. We'll talk about that in a minute. Basically, since Endgame, which was the last time we saw Ant-Man, Scott Lang has become a success. His daughter has become an SJW in San Francisco, and Hank Pym helps her create a device that allows people to communicate with the quantum realm for some reason. If you have seen one MCU film, you've seen them all to this point. Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania is more of the same, a phrase that has become popular for all the wrong reasons when associated with the MCU is bait and switch. So like I said, despite this being the third Ant-Man movie of the 31 film franchise, the main focus in the first two acts is on Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Janet, when it should be focused more on Ant-Man, because it's an Ant-Man movie. A lot of questions went into Jonathan Majors' portrayal as Kang the Conqueror. Majors does a good job handling the serious demeanor of the character, but whenever the film requires him to turn up the emotion, his portrayal comes off as more cartoonish. Also, the actress playing Cassie Lang, people say she's very wooden. She has no expressions. She has no emotion on her face. She's just there. Evangelina Lilly's character, Hope, is not useful at all. They've really cut down her involvement in this movie. She's there, but she doesn't really have anything to do with the plot, and she's just there as kind of a support character for Scott Lang. Spoiler alert right now. I just want to tell you there's no stakes in this movie. Nobody dies. Nobody gets trapped anywhere. By the end of the movie, everything is just hunky-dory. And then they have a post-credit scene with Kang the Conqueror appearing in the 1800s as one of his other versions of one of his other variants. And you have Loki and Owen Wilson, I can't remember his character's name, sitting there looking at them. And unless you've watched Loki season 1, you're not going to understand why they were there or what they're even doing. Most people think Loki's dead at this point because they haven't watched the shows on Disney Plus. They have no interest in watching the shows on Disney Plus. So Loki just shows up. So they're making it necessary for you to watch the Disney Plus shows rather than just come and watch the movies like it should be. The Disney Plus shows should be ancillary. You should not have to watch those to understand the movies. Now, speaking of Disney Plus, they are undertaking a heavy slowdown of Disney Plus output. Echo and Ironheart seemingly delayed indefinitely. And do you know why? Because nobody cares about these characters. Really. Ironheart is just the dollar store version of Iron Man. And Echo, I mean, she's a mutant, and she's not even one of the powerful mutants. She's like one of the secondary mutants that nobody really cares about. So they're gonna push all these shows back and only release like one a year because they're saying people are getting too much pushed in their face, and each show is not giving its opportunity to shine. Well, like they say, you can't polish a turd, so I don't think these shows are going to shine anyway. Where previously the studio was set to remain a prominent figure in the pop culture conversation through 2023 with Agatha, Coven of Chaos, nobody cares. Echo, nobody cares. Ironheart, nobody cares. Secret Invasion might be okay. Loki Season 2, I'm iffy on that. And What If, I've never watched any of the What Ifs. Now they allege that this year we'll only see the release of Nick Fury and the God of Mischief's respective outings. So that's Secret Invasion and Loki Season 2. I don't know anything about Secret Invasion, but if it's got Sam Jackson in it, it might be good. And I like Loki, so maybe they'll fix some of the flaws. And I liked Owen Wilson's character, so hopefully they'll fix some of the flaws and it'll be better. But notable among these delays are Echo and Ironheart, as these two projects are being put on hold despite having finished filming months prior. They've already been filmed. They're already in the can. But they're not going to release them because nobody wants to see them. And they know that nobody wants to see them. But they definitely can't cancel Ironheart because it's directed by a black woman and it's starring a black woman, and they just can't have that. They just can't do it. Further, the insiders did not provide any alternative timetable for either of the other series' respective premieres, suggesting that Marvel's remaining Disney Plus slate has been delayed indefinitely. And I don't mind. I haven't watched anything on Disney Plus since Loki. I just don't want to. I just don't care. I don't care. The shows are horrible. She-Hulk. I watched the first episode of She-Hulk. It made me want to bash my skull. That's how bad it was. And what they did to Bruce Banner and the Hulk character, I wanted to bash my skull. Okay? That was the only one I get. I didn't watch Miss Marvel. Hell no. I can't even remember. I can't even remember anything really that's come out other than Loki and She-Hulk. So I just don't care that they've put these shows, and they may never release them, and that's fine with me. That's fine with me. As far as Antman goes, it's terribly disappointing. At least we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to look forward to in a few months. And then the Marvels, which I'm not going to see. I don't want to. I don't care. You have to have seen Miss Marvel to understand, to even go in to understand the Marvels. And I'm not going to watch Miss Marvel. So that's the state of the MCU now. It's horrible, and I just don't care. That's it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've seen Ant-Man, and tell me what you thought about it, and I will talk to you next time.